Hi everyone. Ozil05. Hello. If I had my sound effects here, I press everything. Ozil, Shirley. Like a crazy person.
These people you know.
Yes, they're always joining the live, and today they're meeting someone new. Yay! How was your day? Oh, is it? Thank you for asking. Nobody asked me that. People of the world, the day has been busy, of course. It's a work day. Yes, thank you. That's the right one. Thank God it's Friday. Yes. Is it a TGIF for you, Teacher Vicky?
I wish, but no.
It's not a TGIF for Teacher Vicky, but we're still grateful that we made it to Friday.
Yes, that's true.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Everyone, today with us is Teacher Vicky.
Hi.
Yay! Mhm. Just got the number one. Oh, wow. How dare you? What did you mean, Sherlyn? How dare us what? I got it back, huh? Okay. You got back the number one badge. Okay. The number one gifter
Ooh.
badge. Congratulations, Sherlyn. Okay, so today we have a very wonderful teacher with us, Teacher Vicky. Okay, I recall one of them was trying to ask about writers at work classes, and they live in Yishun.
Mm.
So that means to say the closest branch to them is Ang Mo
Ang Mo
Kio.
Kio, yes.
And Teacher Vicky teaches in Ang Mo Kio. Also, right?
Yes, I do. Yeah, I do teach in
More
Ang Mo Kio.
classes in Ang Mo Kio or in KA?
I teach more classes in Ang Mo Kio than KA.
Okay, Ken.
Mm.
So you will find Teacher Vicky at our Ang Mo Kio branch. If you don't know, we have an Ang Mo Kio branch. I saw the video about Teacher James and Teacher Agnes in. What video? Is it about the one where they were doing PSLE Night Live? Okay. I got it back. I know what's happening now. So Ozil and not Sherlyn are trying to get the number one gifter badge. So they're
Okay.
giving the gifts so they get it back. I live in Ang Mo Kio. Oh my God, Ozil05. If you join our classes, you can join Teacher Vicky's class. Full marks teacher. She brought her students to full marks for for prelims, right?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Please be kind to each other. Teacher Vicky, wow. Are you talking about the registration? Actually, we put the slides here to let you all know that Writers at Work registration is ongoing. And it's very important now. If you want to make the most of, benefiting from our story banking technique, it's good that you start with us early on and be with us throughout the entire year or more. But Teacher Vicky, what are we here for today?
Okay, so for today, we will be discussing the changes for the PSLE system. Yes, so we'll be focusing on paper one.
Very scary.
The daunting changes ahead. Okay, not so daunting, but we'll be focusing on paper one for today. The changes, the changes that the students will be. I mean, the paper will undergo, and the students will be going through also. So it's especially relevant for our primary 5 students. So if you're a primary 5 teacher watching, primary 5 student watching this, then this is especially useful for you. But of course, anyone who wants to know more information about this session today will be very useful for you as well.
Correct. So you wanna get a head start for P4, P3? Why not stay?
Yes, correct.
Stay and learn the because eventually this is the format if MOE doesn't update it one more time.
That's true.
Eventually, this is going to be the format that you'll be having once you reach PSLE now. So. But before we dive into the changes, we are gonna be officially introducing ourselves because they're in the slides.
Okay, so introducing the speakers for today, none other than ourselves. Okay, so I'm Teacher Vicky. Hello. And of course, you know Teacher Mitsuko.
Yes, both of us have been teaching here at Writers at Work for years and years and years and years now. And the reason why, actually, everyone, I'm partnered with Teacher Vicky today because Teacher Vicky is a senior teacher here in Writers at Work. And at the same time, what we always do here every year, every end of the year, we always try to make it a point where we update the curriculum so that it's always relevant and timely for our students. So at the moment, right, you don't see them, but our curriculum writers there are changing every single notes that we have just to make sure the PSLE changes are incorporated. And Teacher Vicky here, you had your own P5, P4 classes this year.
Yes.
That
Correct.
means to say Teacher Vicky have seen firsthand how the schools have actually started applying the changes to the PSLE, which she will show you later on. Now. Thank you for 1.5K likes already. Thank you very much. You're all very hardworking today, huh? Okay, now everyone else is like competing the number one gifter badge. Actually, we should have that competition soon, right? Like the last person who gets this number one gifter badge before the year ends. Wow, perhaps you will get a prize. I shall tell Teacher James about this. And also we'll get it back. Oh my god, they're still on it. Okay, so a few suggestions from Teacher Vicky. What are these, teacher?
Okay, so for our session today, whenever you think anything there is important or relevant to you, so just feel free to take a snapshot of it to keep the information. Also, please get involved. So I can already see that everyone is getting involved. So just continue that. And any questions you have, any comments, just drop it in our comment section.
Oh, that means, Teacher Vicky, there are really slides that you prepared that are worth, like they have to prepare themselves to take screenshots.
Correct. Yes.
Let's give them a sneak peek. What specific slide should they be preparing to take a screenshot of?
I think the example slides and especially the tips and strategies slide on the last few pages.
I think that's what they can look forward to now because the examples are fresh. It means we've just gotten them as well. And we are very excited to share them to all of you. No gatekeeping here.
Correct.
Okay, so let's start, but we'll start with, okay, this one is, I should be putting this here. Let's start with a question for all of you, okay? Time to quiz you all. But first, how many papers for English? There's 4 papers.
Yes.
Now, question for everyone.
Okay, so the question will be which paper or papers will there be changes in paper 1, 2, 3, or 4?
So we have 4 papers. You can say 1, 2, 3, and 4 if you think the changes are all in all papers. But can you guess? Home Tuition Singapore says 3. That means to say Home Tuition Singapore, you think the changes is only in paper 3, correct? Listening compre, is it? Okay, thank you for trying. Sherlyn, while you're busy clicking the like there, you can also guess which papers do you think will the changes be in? All, I see. Okay, I have one who said one specific paper. Another one says it's gonna be all. Home Tuition Center Singapore said 1, 2, and 4. Brian said all. User 84102 said hi. Hello. Welcome to you. Okay, anyone else? Before we hi Diva Cat Lover 23. Hello to you. Now I was just asking them, is it Christmas about to? Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Yes, I can feel it. Yes. And that is why our setup here is very Christmassy. Hello, Marcus. Marcus, thank you and welcome to you. So everyone, we are moving on. We need one more guess. We're talking about the changes for PSLE 2025. Which papers do you think are affected by the changes? Hi, Chair Chris Redfield. Hello to you, my trusted friend. Do you know that song? Oh my god, I always just make up songs of my own. Addition for paper 5. Oh wow. Students are already stressed out for papers.
No.
What will be paper 5 lah? Because we already have reading, writing, speaking, and listening. Paper 5 would be what? You sing. You sing what you learn.
Sing in English.
Wow. Okay, so let's reveal the answer. Okay, so we have one who said all, one who said paper 3. No, Home Tuition Singapore actually said 1, 2, and 4.
Yes.
Is Home Tuition Singapore correct?
Yes, so Home Tuition Singapore got the correct answer. So the changes will be in papers 1, 2, and paper 4. So for paper 1, the changes will be in situational writing and continuous writing. So both sections, both components will undergo changes. For paper 2, there will be 2 sections affected.
Okay, try to guess. Now you got it correct. This time around, only 2 sections of paper 2, only 2 sections are affected. Which section do you think? Then later you also tell me you don't know the sections of paper 2. Don't say booklet A or booklet B. I need the specific section inside those two booklets. Which parts do you think are affected by the changes in PSLE? Hi, Amelia! Amelia! Marcus 3251, hello. Oh, Phineas said two pretty teachers. Thank you very much. Okay. You have just inspired us to continue. Am I late? You are not late. We have just started, Amelia. Don't worry. What is the topic? Amelia, we're talking about the changes for PSLE 2025 to prepare you all. And today we're zooming in one specific paper. But we have just started, so don't worry. You haven't really missed anything. Now, paper 1, both sections affected. Okay. Paper 2, only 2 sections are affected. What do you think are the sections affected? What sections are in paper 2? Okay, let's tell them the sections first.
All the sections first?
Yes.
It's all about.
Oh, so many.
Yeah, there are too
Booklet
many.
A first. Booklet A has
4.
actually let's make it easier for them.
Yeah.
The changes are only in booklet.
The changes.
No, in both booklets now.
Yes.
One in booklet A and one in booklet B. Correct.
Correct.
Booklet A has MCQ, grammar MCQ, vocab MCQ, grammar, visual text. Correct. And then booklet B has.
We have compre, open-ended. We have situational. We have our editing,
compre, grammar close.
Yes, correct.
SNT.
We already said that. So one more section.
Yes, SNT. Hold on. Grammar close, editing, compre close, compre OE, SNT. Okay, okay. We have here Sherlyn saying MCQ and comprehension. Carl 3793, what's our goal like? First half, first 13 minutes. Very specific. Let's reach 10,000. Let's try to reach 10,000 first and let's talk after. MCQ and comprehension. Who else? One more guess. Who is it here? Carl, what do you think are the 2 sections affected in paper 2? Belle. Oh yeah, Belle. You are correct. Why did I do this? Thank you very much. What is the change implemented? Oh, cat lover. We will dive into that. But to give you an idea, for paper 2, thank you very much, Teacher Rin. For paper 2, it will be changes. No. Marks distribution. That means to say, yeah. Marks distribution we will not say if there's an additional mark or a deducted mark. But specifically for one of the 2 sections, there is a change in the actual format that will be given to the students. Yeah. Will you guys be sharing what the changes will be? Oh, Brian, for sure. We'll be sharing the changes. We'll be sharing sample papers for the changes. We'll be sharing
and questions to tackle.
And questions to tackle. We'll even practice the changes with all of you, so you are ready to tackle them by the time you start doing them in 2025. Okay? Oh my God! Don't abon. PSLE 2030 cat lover. While we are not really there yet, we shall face whatever is given to us now. It's a reality that they'll have to face it. You know, it has been a battle in the past few years. Sure, if I will get full marks next year, I will give you guys credit. Wow. Thank you, Sherlyn. Sherlyn, thank you very much. Okay, so actually it's here.
Yes.
Visual text comprehension and editing. These 2 sections are affected in paper 2. And finally, teacher, paper 4. Oh, both sections also affected. Oh my goodness. It's been so long since I took PSLE. Brian, how long has it been? Then we can guess your age. It's been so
as long as us or me.
Possibly
it's
not.
not. I don't think so.
But it's good that you're here with us today, so at least you see like how times have changed, you know, since the time you took PSLE. Yeah. Take my place. Wow. Wow, 20. Oh, very young. Brian, very young.
Oh, okay.
You're very young. You're still, yeah. It's okay. It's still very fresh in your head. And then it's not. I mean, are the changes big for you? For me, if I look at all the changes in the papers, it's a bit of a leap, lah. Yeah, it's a bit of a leap.
I think so too.
I think we'll get your opinion later on what you think about the changes once we dive deep into the paper 1 changes. Okay. Let's move on.
Okay, so paper 1, 2, and 4 will have changes, but the one paper that remains unchanged for English will be actually your paper 3.
Paper 3 listening, compre, no change. Yeah,
correct.
Now,
Mm,
what is this?
the different sections.
Do you know what the different sections of the different paper are? Okay, okay. Now this is your moment to shine. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Before we dive into the paper one changes, let's do a revision first because you got confused earlier. They got confused earlier. Like, cannot answer. But so now let's revise. Let's revise all the sections in your paper, okay, ladies and gentlemen. First paper one, you see, they actually show. You saw it earlier.
Yes, correct.
If you were paying attention to our slides, you would have seen. Paper one has two sections. What are you supposed to write for paper one?
We have situational writing and we have continuous writing. Both components that will be undergoing a change.
Correct. Paper two very long.
Okay, paper 2 is very long. It's divided by your booklet A and then we have your booklet B. So booklet A, you have 4 sections there, out of which one will be undergoing a change, which is your visual text. And then for booklet B, we have 5 whole sections, and the one section that will be undergoing a change will be your editing. Yes. So out of all these sections, only 2 of them will be undergoing changes. Yes.
And finally, actually the biggest chunk of the change is in paper 4.
Correct. So we have reading aloud and stimulus based. Both of it will be undergoing changes, and it's the major bulk of the changes. Yes. And of course, as mentioned, paper 3, there are no changes to it. It is just your listening comprehension section.
Now, Teacher Vicky, exactly what we'll be covering today for 2 hours. Stay with us, people. We'll be here with you for 2 hours, huh?
Yes, okay. So for today, we will talk about, firstly, the change in allocation of marks for paper 1. So we'll be focusing on paper 1 for today. And then next, we will also see some sample questions and get to experience the questions themselves. So later on, you will see maybe some stimulus, and then there are some questions with clues. Then you will get to actually try out the questions, and we'll try to see who comes to the closest model answers that we have.
So try it out and join us later. We will show you some samples.
Then next, we have the impact of these changes. So all of these changes are there. So what does this mean for you? So what does this mean for people who are taking PSLE next year or the years after that?
Do they need to change the way they revise? Can they relax a bit more, or should they be revising more? Let's talk about that later.
And of course, lastly, we also have some tips and strategies to prepare for these changes. So don't be scared that these changes are happening. We will talk you through them, and we'll also share with you some tips and strategies on them.
Correct. So we're basically doing it end of year before even 2025 starts. Not to scare you, but actually to prepare you. Because when you are prepared, it's less daunting to face the changes for sure. Yeah? Okay, so let's give it a go. Today we are focusing specifically on paper 1. And as Teacher Vicky already mentioned, both sections of paper 1 are actually affected. And I can tell you, people, the changes are actually pretty interesting. There is a huge realization that I think some of you who's been joining the live, we've done a series of live sessions for secondary level, right? Transitioning from primary to secondary, and then choosing secondary schools as well. Doing and preparing for this live actually made me realize a few things. Let's piece it together later. So, Teacher Vicky, what about paper 1 changes? Is Rin going live on Sunday? Sherlyn is asking, are you going live on Sunday, Teacher Rin? Yes, Sherlyn, so please be here. Okay, what about paper 1?
Okay, so for paper 1, for those of you who need a little refresher, paper 1 covers 2 components, as you can see here, the situational writing and continuous writing. So first, situational writing is where the magic begins with more major changes. So students will be crafting either a formal or informal piece of work. And then there's, of course, continuous writing, which is a longer piece of work. So where they have to narrate a story and use the pictures wisely. So both of these sections will be undergoing changes. But before we look at the changes, let's look at the difference in marks.
Do you all remember? Okay, let's get them to guess this.
Okay.
People, current marks for situational writing, how much? Let's see, whether or not you are in PSLE year, it will be good to actually see and remember uncles and aunties. Do you recall? the current marks that you should, full marks, if you're getting full marks for oh, Brian says 30. 30, 25, I see. For both, is it? Or are you saying for continuous writing or for situational writing only? Let's start with situational writing. How much is the total marks? Situational writing. Let's go, people. Thinking. Just, 25 and 25. I see. Thank you, cat lover. Who else? Where is Sherlyn? Sherlyn, are you there? Situational writing. Brian says 30. Okay, you think so? No problem. Just drop in whatever you think. I will probably join on Sunday. Totally won't see an alarm. Continuous is 35. Brian, I see. Thank you. Okay. Let's give it a go. Currently without the changes yet. Like that. 10,000, 100,000. Situational writing has 15 marks in total. And then continuous writing is 40 in total. How much? 55. Yes, correct. Correct. But now, people, this is what's going to happen for the new marks allocation. Wow, how much? That means -1 for situational writing and a big -4 for continuous writing. Now, that means to say, in the overall English grade, what is it? How about it? Why do they change it? Good question. Okay, Teacher Vicky, what do you think? Why do you think they change it?
Personally, based on the changes, right? Because we can't see paper 1 in isolation. So
correct.
Looking at all the papers together and seeing that the marks have been given to paper 4, I think the main reason for the change is MOE trying to foster more oral communication. Yeah, so to build students like confidence and the ability to communicate. So I think that's why the focus is on paper 4. So, but I think overall you still have to keep it within the 200 so that it's easily dividable, right? So I think that's why they have to take the marks here and there to put it into oral.
Actually, that would answer Cat Lover's question when she said such awkward numbers too. It looks awkward, but if you actually added up both, it will still be kind of like a 50. 50 total.
Yeah.
But there's still but overall, Teacher Vicky was correct. You cannot see it in you cannot see one paper in isolation. Across all the changes in all the 3 papers, right? You will notice like it will come to light what the main goal of MOE for having changed this now. But I think it's a good news for me, right? Seeing the education system being updated is a very, very important thing to happen for our country. That shows that you are keeping up pace with the changes in times, right? So they see the need, and I would believe this is backed by data and research. They see the need that, okay, these are the skill sets that we need for their language abilities. Let's update this so our students are ready for it. So yeah, the music sounds like arcade music. You like it, is it? Okay, so now currently, overall English grade, paper 1 covers how much? How much do you think paper 1 covers? Teacher Vicky, revealed. Magic. So currently it's almost, right? It's almost 30%. 27.5. But okay, let's test your math skills. You already know the current one. So with the 5 marks deduction, how much do you think is it now? Is it going to go? It's definitely gonna go lower for sure. But what do you think, people? What do you think? Is it gonna be 26%, 22%, 23%? Is that how much percentage? What do you call this? Paper 1 covers for your overall English grades. We'll give you 10 more seconds. Guess the percentage, everyone. Let's go. I like the music. Like, you know that music about the, how do I call that music? The thinking music, the thinking one, the thinking. I don't know if it's there. Mine is a different set. Okay, No one is giving the response. Let's reveal it. Dun, dun, dun. So now we are down to 25%. But teacher Vicky, this duration here, 1 hour 10 minutes, is it the same?
Yes, so the changes will be in the marks and the overall weightage because the marks get affected, so overall the weightage will get affected. But the duration stays the same. So for paper 1, despite the reduction in marks, students will still get the 1 hour and 10 minutes to complete both your situational writing and your continuous writing for paper 1.
So that gives me a question that I want to ask later.
Okay.
So like, oh, lower marks, same duration, that means easier.
Okay, so that's a common misconception, but that's not the case, which I'll answer later. It doesn't mean that your marks has been reduced, that things get easier. No, that's not the case. It's a misconception. Yes.
Correct. And we shall clarify that later on as well. Okay, so now you see there's a total 5-mark deduction in paper 1. Let's dive in deeper. Dun, dun, dun.
Okay, so now we are going to focus on situational writing first. Okay, so starting off with the major changes in situational writing, the students are graded mainly for 2 components for situational writing. So we have language and organization, which will take a mark reduction. So previously it was 9 marks. So from 9, it's going to go to 8 marks. As for task fulfillment, it will still remain at 6 marks. So overall, it will go from 15 to 14. Yes, it does sound like an odd number, but still works within the grand scheme of 200 marks.
Yes.
Yes. So what you should take note is the reduction in marks for your language and organization. But just because the task fulfillment, the marks remain the same, does not mean the format is unchanged. So there will actually be a change in the format. Yes, so there will be a change in the format. So the students have to actually come up with their own logical deductions. So previously, the task fulfillment, right, there will be a total of like 4 bullets that they need to answer. And all of the answers, you can actually find it in the stimulus. It's just a matter of like finding, doing some search and then copy and pasting it in your correct format. But then now it's different. So now your task fulfillment has 1 more bullet, and for that you actually can't find the answers in the stimulus itself. You have to like think of it by yourself.
Very interesting. It's like, wow, -1 mark, but wow, they added 1 more bullet points. Weird, right? So it's like it's you cannot assume that they deducted 1 mark. That means to say it's easier. They actually added that element. This element is the one that you should be practicing and you should be bracing yourself, because you can no longer find everything from the stimulus, which to be honest, current P6 students and the ones who are doing the current format, right? Everything is in the stimulus technically. Yes. Some of the students who tries to like free write, I want to add something a bit to add more. They do so, but everything we need basically in the bullet points are in the stimulus. But now, not anymore. Dun, dun, dun. Okay.
Yes, correct. So although it's unchanged in marks for task fulfillment, there is still 1 more criteria that the students have to build up on.
This is a screenshot moment, people. What is this, teacher Vicky?
Okay, so we have collected some sample questions from different schools. So some schools have already started implementing this new PSLE system for the current P5s. Not all schools. So some schools have already started doing it both for the situational writing and the continuous writing. So for their final year, end of year paper for the P5s this year, they actually took the renewed format, the format that will be in place next year for PSLE. So you can see the stimulus is there, and then you have the task box. But what I need to bring your attention to will be the box in red. So that is actually the additional bullet point that you can, let me use this. Ta-da! You can see
let's
over
zoom
here.
in so they can see clearly, people, and let's see if they can read the bullet point in red.
So the 4 stimulus, okay, actually there's 5 over here. So some schools, they have previously 4 stimulus or 5 stimulus. But now with the changes, right, the schools either will have 5 or 6. So there will be even more than that, depending on how many the schools want to have. So, but the definite thing we know is every paper there will be additional task fulfillment that the student has to like think of an answer for themselves. So all of this information, right? The first 1 to 5 bullet points, you can find the evidence in the stimulus. But for this one, what Jane can do to help you, this cannot be found over there on the stimulus. Mm.
Right. So now there's a level additional layer of deduction required from you. Do not worry. We shall actually try it out together later on.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. Let's see. Do we
Great.
have? Okay.
Yes.
If you want to take a screenshot, do so. Another school, Henry Park. Apply the changes. Oh, very interesting.
So another thing to take note is the previous example that you saw, there was a total of 1 to 6 bullets, right? Yeah. So the usual for that school was 5, and they added 1 more, making it 6. But for this school, the usual is actually 4, and then they added 1 more, making it 5. Yeah. So different schools have slightly different structure, but there is still one additional element added why you took pictures of the visit, which again you can't find the evidence in the stimulus itself.
Correct.
And also something to highlight is the order of it. Students shouldn't have the misconception that the last bullet is going to be the one that that is the additional deduction and reasoning bullet, because it can appear anywhere in your task fulfillment.
Actually, that just gave me the idea. This is gonna be with the new changes, right? This is gonna be a common pitfall for some students. Please do not ever assume that the additional question that you need to provide the answer on your own, do not assume it's always on the last one. Because the problem with that, if you give that assumption, some of you would just go and say, oh, I find, but you cannot find, but you forced an information to put it there. And then because the last one, you assumed it was the question, it was a question that you need to answer on your own. Even when the information was in the stimulus, you did not bother checking. So please do remember, they're adding one more question that you will have to provide the answer on your own, but it may not be the last one, okay? Thank you for highlighting that, Teacher Vicky.
Yes. Okay, so moving on, we have a few more examples. So here we have Anderson Primary School. Again, you can see the second last bullet point is actually the addition. But I think the school was nice enough to actually underline the point. If you can actually see it.
Correct. Yeah.
So I'm not sure if that will be the case for PSLE.
Yeah, correct.
Not sure about that. But I think the schools, because the P5 students are undergoing it for the first time, so I think they made it a bit easier by underlining it so that students know that, okay, this is what you need to come up with your own idea and you can't find it in the stimulus.
So then I think the very good tip to give them at the moment is you're lucky if you get the underline from the school.
Yes.
Yeah. But do not rely on it. That means to say, if eventually you have to brace yourself for a time when they will no longer give you the underlined question. And at the same time, that means to say every single bullet point you counter check in the stimulus for you to know which question is the one you're supposed to answer on your own.
Yes, correct.
But I think the more you see samples, you start noticing a pattern.
That's true.
On what type of additional question they like to give.
And also speaking of that, right, the pattern is actually a very good point, because if you look at the next example, it's from Alexandra Primary, but it's actually the same stimulus. It's the exact same
Do you
stimulus.
see that, people of the world?
Yes, but then there is difference in this part of the poster, and the question asked is also different.
Wow. Very interesting, right? I tell you one.
Yes.
That's why it does pay. It pays to do practice papers.
Yes, correct.
Right.
So it can be the exact same stimulus, but you can see they can ask like different responses from it.
Correct, right.
Yeah. So students can, in a way, by doing all these practice papers, right, you prepare yourself for the possible types of questions. Yeah, because it's something that can be something that the schools can come up with. So in a way, you can try to not say predict, but practice and develop your answering skills. Yeah.
Because, for example, if it's the stimulus, right? Let's say, let's ask people, are you ready? If the stimulus is about, okay, let's do a reverse engineering.
Okay.
The stimulus is about me about to join a marathon. Okay. What could be the additional question they will give? Perhaps they can ask me, why do you want to join the marathon? Right? If you were the examiner, what question will you ask me as an additional situational writing question? Give it a try. The stimulus is about me about to join a marathon. So it's a dialogue of me and teacher Vicky. Like, teacher Vicky, I want to join a marathon. Would you like to join me? Yeah, like that. Then teacher Vicky goes to say, like,
We'll be asking you, oh, so when is the marathon?
correct.
Yeah.
Like that. And then the dates are there in the
Yeah.
stimulus. So perhaps additional question would be, give a good reason why teacher Mitsuko would like to join the marathon. Or what do you guys think? What could be the additional questions? So start thinking, because this could be a good way for you to practice with yourself, people. People are still alive, is it? Are you still there? Okay. Ken, very interesting. The same
Stimulus, yeah.
but different sets of questions. Okay.
Right.
And then this time around, bullet points 5. So now the new format will run from 5 or 6. The usual one is 5 and 6 now. Okay, Ken. Yes, women. What do you mean, yes, women? People of the world. Okay. Now. Any other examples? Let's see. So at least the samples give us a pattern. What else? Anything else? Okay. This one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. This time around is bullet. Okay, and you notice previous slide, it's second last. Now it's last.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just telling you, don't rely on it positioned at the last. It will be up to them where they want to put it. Can. And this one is from Nanhua Primary School. Yes. It's a different stimulus altogether. What you hope the company will do. I see. Very interesting. Okay. Hi, J7! Welcome to you! Okay, I'm happy you're here. That's perfect. And now, okay, having seen the examples, okay, listen carefully, people. You've seen the examples. We've talked a bit about the changes in the marks. Teacher Vicky, you have a special question for all of them.
Yes. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so why is situational? Why is situational writing important? Okay, I've given some clue words there, but I want you to try and find the missing word over there. It can be like a hangman situation, but of course I can only tell you what the letters are.
J7s, the like is so low because you have not been liking. Okay, we're 4.4K already. Let's reach 5K soon, okay? So our goal is 10K. Okay, hold on. This is not how it works, J7s. Our PowerPoint presentation doesn't work that way, okay? We like your idea.
But I can tell you there's an A in the word.
Correct, there's an A in the word, okay? But what we can help you with is we can give you the first letter, okay? Ta-da! Okay, okay. Let me see if someone is so amazing and can guess the entire word with just the first letter. Give it a try first. 20 seconds, let's go. Situational writing gauges the student's ability to blank effectively in different formats. Who can give it a try? It starts, what do you mean clinic? Clinic doesn't even fit in all the boxes.
And it doesn't have an A. It's supposed to have an A.
And then, teacher Vicky gave you a clue. She said there is an A in the word. The ability to what effectively? Let's go. Do you need? Okay, how about Sherlyn? Sherlyn, you have some words there. Class, still short though, because the boxes are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 letters. You know, the purpose of language. Class, oh my God, because classmates is not.
Oh my God,
class
let's give
doesn't
the second letter.
second letter. Okay, letter O. Give it a try. C and O. What do you think? Clue. Okay, Sherlyn, the clue is there. Community.
Close enough. The first few letters are there.
But what should give you a clue is that the previous word is to. Let me just say this word is a verb. It's a verb. You do it. You do it. Congratulations. I think the third letter may just, may just Hakim! Teacher
Oh,
Hakim! Teacher Hakim is here. Hello! We miss you.
Was that the child?
Yes, it's him.
Oh,
Hello, how is your trip there? I'm not gonna reveal it because you may be a very private person, but I know he's on a trip. Hello, welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes, you are correct. Teacher Hakim got it. It gauges the student's ability to communicate effectively in different formats. What do you mean different formats?
Yes, there are different formats for situational writing. So it is
Mm.
something that the students have to know in order to ace both their components, both the task fulfillment and especially your content, your language and organization. Yeah, so they need to know the different formats. So this is one of the main reasons, but we will go through a few other reasons why situational writing is important. Yes, so maybe these are your reasons why it is important. So it is easy to score full marks for situational writing. Yes, if it is approached correctly.
Correct.
Yeah. So just because there's a reduction in marks or increase in task fulfillment where students have to like, oh no, I need to come up with the answers myself. Okay, so you shouldn't be scared. As long as you approach it correctly, you have the correct format, you know what to look out for, then you will be able to score full marks for it. Yeah. Then followed by critically analyzing the stimulus, especially with the new edition where you don't just like copy the information and paste it into your writing. You need to analyze the stimulus and you need to put yourself in the situation to imagine a logical answer. Yeah. So the second one is really important too. And lastly, it is to enhance students' ability to identify and use appropriate tone and format in writing.
Tone and format. What's tone and format?
Okay, so for format, it is the type of writing. It can either be a formal writing or an informal writing, or it can be like a letter or an email. So different type of writing, different people you are writing to, there must be a change, there must be appropriate tone. So imagine talking to a friend, telling about something or sharing about something versus talking to a teacher or like your maybe vice president or president or principal of the school. So of course, you're talking to different people, there's different authority, your tone will also be different. So that is what it means by you need your appropriate tone and format in order to ace for your language component.
I just would like to add, sure, I can give you follower already. My out. Because you're in so many accounts one. Okay, I just would like to add from what teacher Vicky has said, right? Because I know some of you may have some of the students may have the thinking, right, that oh my god, I am very angry. Why must they make it a bit harder? Because obviously the moment they knew there was like one bullet point for you to think and give the logical reason on your own, it might have triggered some emotions like why make it harder, we're already struggling. What I can tell you is secondary English, the leap is very high. I am thankful that this slight change is supposed to actually really prepare you for what's coming for you for secondary lah. Because there's a lot of logical thinking involved once you reach there. So it's good that you start practicing as early as now. Especially that in English, the biggest leap is situational writing. One of the biggest leaps. Students get a they tang when they do their first weighted assessment in Sec 1 and they suddenly realize situational writing isn't what it used to be anymore.
Yes.
Correct. So this is a good practice. These changes are good, and the skills that teacher Vicky emphasized here are skills you will need not just for PSLE but for sure moving forward.
Actually, just to touch on that, right, I would really have to agree on teacher Mitsuko. So the change, right, it might seem like a daunting thing for now because you need to come up with your own answers. But like teacher Mitsuko mentioned, it is a great transition to secondary situational writing. Because in secondary situational writing, there is much more that you need to form by yourself or organize. Yeah, so this actually bridges that gap.
Yes, correct. True. Agree.
Yeah.
So it's good that you're learning this now. Yeah, be thankful for it. Yeah, be thankful for it. All right. So now I know why situational writing is important. But actually, let's show them a proof on how they can apply see how.
Yes, so situational writing, right? Actually, it is the first introduction that students get in a primary school level to formal writing. So from there, it is slowly built up in secondary school, and then you have your tertiary education, and from there, you have to use it in your adult life very
Yes.
much, from proposals to like letters. And actually, this example is quite a cute example that I had. A person is writing a complaint about a restaurant service. So even for complaining, right, you still need formatting. Yeah, so it
Correct.
will be very useful in your your working life.
Sure. I have one question about this.
Yes.
So like, oh, we can write our letters and all.
Mm.
What about the situational writing skills are still important, even with the, even in the world of AI and Chat GPT?
Mm-hmm.
Cause like, I can just tell Chat GPT to write the, letter for me.
Mm.
But how does their situational writing skill come in, even with using an AI to write for them?
Okay, so even first of all, right? Okay, I think the most main thing that we need to know is, despite Chat GPT and everything, you still need to know this to pass your PSLE and to ace your PSLE. So you still need to know the basics. So without this, right, you're not going to ace your PSLE. You're not going to ace your secondary, your tertiary, and all this. So Chat GPT can help you for now, like in out of school situations. But even then, okay, so moving forward in future, right, you still need to know what to input in Chat GPT or what exactly you want, and you need to double check all those information also. So it's not just a blind copy and paste. I'm sure some of you would have used Chat GPT before, and you've seen the language there, or you've seen that some of the things you wanted actually didn't come out in the output. And also, it doesn't really cater to the different audience that you have, or even the tone of it.
Correct.
It has a very generic AI tone to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two very important things that teacher Vicky highlighted. Number one, at the moment, the PSLE doesn't allow you to use AI. Maybe in the future they will consider it.
Maybe.
But at the moment, you have to think about what the examination requires you to do. It requires you to come up and write the entire situational writing and composition completely on your own.
Yes.
Number two, what teacher Vicky, which I really like, with the use of the AI, a very wonderful prompt should still come from you. So you have to feed the AI and what you want to eventually get what you want. So the tone, the format, the reasons, the audience, all has to come from you. Because otherwise, if you tell ChatGPT, please write a letter for me, they can give you thousands and thousands of letters. But it has to be, the detailed prompt that comes from you will eventually what will matter. Okay, so it's a skill set. The government is keeping it because it's a skill set that you will still need in the future. And now, what are we doing next? Oh, I see it. Very interesting. Ta-da-da!
Yeah, so just giving you an example here. Okay, so this is actually the 2023 PSLE situational writing. So this is, of course, the older format. And you can see the marks, it's over 15 marks, and there's only 4 bullet points over here.
Oh, interesting. 8.3K, thank you! Let's reach 10K soon. Sure, Vicky can read my mind. I will use Chat.
Okay, yes, I'm sure. I mean, I also use Chat GPT. Nothing wrong, but we still need to clear this. We still need to do this for now. Yeah, so it's good to know the changes. So next will be so the same PSLE paper, but we're just going to imagine it as for the new system. So we have it over 14 marks, and we will have an extra prompt here. So of course we don't have a PSLE paper on this yet because it's only going to be implemented next year. So we are doing it with the 2023 PSLE paper. So maybe I can give you some time to read through the stimulus first and the bullet points. And then after that, students can try to generate the possible yes.
Okay. This is a challenge for all of you. Get ready. My phone is lagging. Okay. Get ready. So teacher Vicky is challenging all of you. This is a 2023 one. It does not have that changes yet. And you recall that there's an additional bullet point to get students to think and provide something on their own. Given the stimulus, what question or bullet point will you add? Okay. And we will try to answer the question. But first, we go through You are Amy. Write an email to your classmate Gary to persuade him to join your group. Then check the stimulus here. Can we focus the stimulus here, please? Thank you. So you're supposed to convince him. Oh, what is this? What is the word before behind 14 marks? Check the stimulus. Now open to read for books. Open to primary 6 students. Okay, daytime venue there. Read silently. Oh wow, it's a reading session. For 20 minutes, submit one of the following to the teacher in the hall. A group photo taken at the photo booth. A group comment about the joy of reading on a piece of paper. Oh, wow. Limited to first 50 groups. Every photo or comment they will donate to a new book to the school library for every submission. And then look at the conversation. Okay, I am this girl. Okay. What is the okay? Teacher, this is Teacher Vicky. Okay, Teacher Vicky is reading.
Okay, so what a meaningful event. Shall we take part in it?
Sure. And Gary can join us. Oh, sure. And Gary can join us. Don't you remember? Don't you remember him saying our library needs more books?
Okay, yes, but Gary doesn't like to be in photos. He'll like the other option. He isn't in school today, so I'll email him now before we miss out.
Okay, so now everyone, what additional question will you add in the bullet point?
Okay, so just a clue is actually highlighted in red, whatever is boxed up. So within this, you can find the extra prompt that you think the examiners can set.
What extra question from this? Sure, and Gary can join us. Don't you remember him saying our library needs more books? Give it a try. Add a question. What question will you add? See, now you have the power.
G7.
Why Gary hates books? Oh my god! I mean, that's a good try. But hate is such a strong word, so maybe we should try something less strong. Okay. Why library need more books? Okay, we're getting there. J7s. Oh my god. Oh, dislike. I said hate was a strong word. He changed it to dislike. Okay, so he actually genuinely wants to ask that question now. What? So actually, Gary doesn't hate books. He is just really wondering. He just really wanted more books for the library. So he doesn't hate books. He actually wanted more books for the library. Yes, Sherlyn. When your next live, teacher Mitsuko? Next live next week, Monday. Join us on Monday, huh? How can I remember?
Actually, he had the correct answer. The earlier answer. Yeah.
Correct. But J7's 10. Let's zoom out. Actually, he got the correct answer. J7's, you smart human being. You want to know who is J7's? How can the girl remember what Gary said? Because they're friends now, J7's. You remember what the people around you say also, what? Not everything. But J7's, ta-da-da, good job. That was actually a correct answer. Possibly the school may try to ask you what made Gary feel that the library needed more books. That is not provided in the stimulus, as you can see, but you will have to give the why, what made Gary feel that. So you have to put yourself in the shoe of Gary now and make the reason on your own. What could be the possible reason then why he feels like the library needed more books? Perhaps then you can say that there has been, for example, 4 to 5 instances when he was looking for 4 different types of books and they were all unavailable from the library, right? So that one is a possible response. It's never mentioned in the stimulus, but it's a logical one. He arrived to that conclusion because he tried borrowing specific books and the library, it wasn't available in the library. Hannah?
Actually, that's a very good tip that teacher Mitsuko shared. So putting yourself in the situation, right, will help you with these logical deductions. Because when you just look at it, your mind will be a blank. Like, how would I know why Gary thought that?
Right. I know all of these naughty students want, like, how would I know? Why would they ask me? I'm not Gary. I know.
Correct. So actually putting yourself in the situation, like, just think about it. Like, why do I think that this library needs more books? And then you will come up with ideas like what teacher Mitsuko shared. Maybe couldn't find certain books, or maybe there's no updated edition of that book. There's no series in that
Correct.
book. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
older
actually,
series.
that's another good one. So the
Mm.
possibility, keep in mind the keyword is logical, ha.
Mm.
Cannot just go and say, what made Gary feel that library needed books? Because Gary felt like library needed because they look few. In his eyes, he passed by one day like, library too small. Need more. So you need to go for something a bit more logical. So for example, Teacher Vicky said like, yeah, he had a series, but the series was incomplete, for example, or he tried to borrow specific books. Quite a few instances it happened. It was not available. So that one is logical. There was he went through some situations that really proved that I think it's about time they increase the number of books that they have.
Or maybe
Okay?
limited authors or limited genres. That
Correct. So there's a lot of angles to go through, but do keep in mind it has to be logical.
Yes.
Can.
Okay, so let's look at one more. Oh no, I will not so.
Did you see that? No, okay, no. Let's see. It was a bonus. Let's see if you actually saw it. Okay, let's do one more, okay? Are you ready, ha? J7, Sherlyn, ha? Now give it one more try.
Okay, yes. So another possible question that examiners can ask, where students have to think of their own deduction, make their own deduction. But now with another clue. So not this speech bubble, but now we are focusing on this speech bubble.
Correct, not this anymore. If you are to refer to this speech bubble, what possible question can the school want to ask you to answer it based off of this? What a meaningful event. Shall we take part in it? Find some keywords. Find some keywords. What a meaningful event. Shall we take part in it? What question can they possibly ask? Okay, give it a try. Think about it. What the event? What's the event, is it? But the event basically is already mentioned here. Dive in a bit more. What a meaningful event. Shall we take part in it? Give it a try. There's one big word here, right?
Yes.
There's one big word that the moment you pick it up, it will be your source. You will bank on it for your question. Hello, Amir Matson. Welcome. Oh, look at this. Why should we take part?
Why should we take part?
Interesting.
Okay, close, coming close.
Getting there, J7s. You're getting there. Those of you who just joined, we're trying to test everyone to come up with an additional question for situational writing based off of this, dialogue. Additional question, because now this is the new thing about for situational writing, you see. They will try to ask students about something that is not in the stimulus, but it's something about what they're talking about. Why do you want to take part in the event, Lin Tay? Is it mentioned here? Does it? Why take part? Possible? No. Read silently.
Not really. It's not really mentioned.
It's not mentioned.
Yeah.
That means to say that is a possible question.
Yeah.
Like, give a reason why. Give a good reason why you want to take part in the event. Acceptable. Lynn. That is acceptable. I've been not listening. My goodness, Sherlyn, ha. Attention span. Hello, Eddie Flower. Hello to you. Okay. Why do you want to take part in the event? That one is acceptable, Linty. Actually, that makes sense. But let's give them one more clue. What if you focus on the word meaningful?
Yes.
Can you craft Eddie the author? Who's Eddie the author, J7th? So, from the word meaningful, give it a try. What question can you add in the bullet points here from the word meaningful? Try. Give it a guess. Meaningful. Why is it meaningful? Oh. Good job, Sherlyn. Yes, that's another possible question. So if you notice, there's a pattern now on the usual additional questions they give. They normally like reasons.
Yes.
A lot of it is why. I've seen a few hows.
Yes.
So hows and whys. And then reason for joining,
Correct.
benefits, like that. Very good, Sherlyn. Well done, well done, well done.
Yes, good job.
So, are we testing them more things? Let's give it a try. What's happening for them next? Let's go.
Okay,
Have we reached 10K? No, we have not reached 10K yet. People, let's go. 10K, right? We're actually almost there. Good job. Let's go. I shall like as well. Oh, now that we know the changes. Oh, now let's give it a try. Are you all ready? What is it on? What do you mean, what is it on, J7? Is it on?
The challenge is it?
Okay. So now it's already in 8.3 J7s. I have not been liking. I see you're tired today. Is it, Sherlyn? Because you haven't been listening as well. Oh, Lindsay, thank you for liking the live. Okay, remember to follow us if you haven't yet. Now is the time. This one, real. You're not going to be giving us questions anymore. We will be giving you the questions. And you will have to give us the answers. You ready? Okay. First, thank you. We're almost hitting, okay, almost 10K. Let's go. Now, this is proper one. We examiners, you students. Okay, let's give it a try. So now, two things. You will actually finally see sample papers up from schools applying the changes already. Yes. So, screenshot, that one you can definitely do. Practice using these papers. Number 2, let's practice together. Teacher Vicky. Oh, okay.
So this is actual P5 year-end paper. So you can see it's in the new format. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bullets. But please take note that the one underlined will be the new addition. So this is the question that will be the one students have to come up with their own logical deduction and reasoning. Yes, which we will tackle later, so don't worry about it. But we are going to step by step. So we're going to go to the first task fulfillment.
J7 is very excited.
Okay, but maybe we give you all some time. Okay, so read through the stimulus first.
Okay.
Yeah. Read through the
we
stimulus.
zoom in a bit so that the whole stimulus still is seen. Okay, we start with first question. Very easy. This one can still be found in the stimulus. Okay.
Yes.
So we write an article for your school's newsletter to share your class's experience visiting the nursing home. Okay. And then this is your nursing home experience. Okay. Now we move it to this side. Yuki, please. Thank you. Now, first question, where your class went. Where? I need a location, people. Location. Can you find? Oh, it's already there. Okay. Where? But they need to type it in.
Yes. So there are clues on the page, but you need to type in complete sentences. So basically, this should be your model answer that you will write in your exam paper.
How will you write it in complete sentence?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
So that means you need to keep your task fulfillment in mind. You also need to keep your answers in mind.
Okay. So now, where your class went. Sorry, Yuki. It has to be both now.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. Okay, so we zoom out a bit.
Answers, but it has to be in complete sentences.
Now, our class went. Okay, very good. We're getting there. You know the reason why Teacher Vicky wants complete sentence, because again, you will also have to write it in complete sentence. Right. When you write it. So the problem normally for the questions where the answers are in the stimulus, right? It's never a problem finding them. The problem is always you putting it in complete sentence and connecting the sentences together in a very good flow. That's why we're testing you to do it now. Okay, here we go. We have some answers.
Okay, because as much as we are focusing on the task fulfillment, you also need to remember that you're also graded on language and organization.
Yes.
So while fulfilling your task fulfillment bullets, you also need to be ensuring that your language is in order. So complete sentences, capitalize when necessary, punctuation, all of this will be important.
Yes. Okay. Our class went to Smiles Nursing Home. I see. Then there was one. Our class went to class. Complete sentence. Good job. Will you accept that, Teacher Vicky?
Okay, yes, it's a good answer. You have your task fulfillment question there, and then you have your answer there. The proper noun is capitalized. So you have Smiles Nursing Home. It's a proper noun. It's a place. It's capitalized. The first letters. Just a small thing. You're missing the punctuation, the full stop,
Yes.
at the end. But other than that, it's a close to perfect sentence too for your first task fulfillment.
Very good. We played songs for the elderly and played
Oh,
games
no.
with them too. Okay, Linte, we're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting to that question. You are very ready, huh? Okay. So, she's trying to answer second question now.
It's the third one.
Oh, the
Yes,
third one.
always, yeah.
Always. Okay, so we celebrate International Elderly Day at the nursing home. So J7's is answering.
Okay, that's the second one. Okay, so let's
Okay, let's
review.
proceed. Let's proceed. So a very good answer for teacher Vicky's first question on International Elderly Day. My class visited Smiles Nursing Home. See, ha? Okay.
Yes.
C got punctual. Punctuation, is it?
Yes. So again, to reiterate, right, just make sure your sentences are complete, grammatically correct and complete sentences. Capitalize where necessary. So let's say even if like you got the correct answer, which is Smiles Nursing Home, but if let's say your S, N, and H here are all small letters, you will have your task fulfillment mark, you'll get it, but you'll lose marks for content.
Be
I mean,
smart
not content,
about
sorry,
it.
lose marks for language
Language.
and organization. So just take note of that. Must be in complete sentences.
Okay, good job.
Take
Now,
it.
because you're all excited, we're proceeding to this question. What you celebrated there? And then the clue? Okay. Okay. You see the clue there? Now, let's see. J7 was so excited that he actually gave this line. We celebrate International Elderly Day at the nursing home. Is that your final answer, J7s? How about Lin Tay? How would you answer question 2 about what you celebrated there? What did you celebrate at the nursing home? Complete answer. Let's give it a try. We celebrate International Elderly Day at the nursing home. Are we accepting this, Teacher Vicky?
Okay, so J7, well done, good job. So you remember the punctuation, very good.
Good job.
Yes, you're taking the tips. Okay, very good. So good job on that. The sentence, you have the correct answer. So they're celebrating International Elderly Day. The only thing is your celebrate is missing your tense. So it should be in past tense. So we celebrated International Elderly Day at the nursing home. So correct answer, capitalization is there, punctuation is there. Just take note of the tense. So your celebrate should be celebrated. If not, you have the perfect answer actually.
Venture, would you accept his second version then? We went to the Smile Nursing Home to celebrate International Elderly Day.
Okay, the second one I think is good. So we went to Smiles, but if I'm not wrong, there's an S, right?
Correct.
In the Smiles, yeah.
Careful, very careful with that, J7.
So the answer is correct, but Smiles is missing an S there. So Smiles Nursing Home. To celebrate is the correct tense because you have two, right? So you can have the base form celebrate after that. So that is fine. Yeah. So your earlier answer, your celebrate needs to be in past tense. This answer is fine, tense is fine, but the smile is missing an S. But still, good job.
Correct. So I think you see a pattern now, J7s. Normally you actually get the main idea in the answer. It's just really the
Language.
little the little fixings here and there, little punctuations, but not really little because ultimately even if they're like just a full stop, just a capitalization, they still deduct marks for you ultimately, huh? So we be very careful for that. Sherlyn keeps asking if we know who J7. Do you know J7? Huh, Sherlyn? You know J7, is it? Then you tell us. Okay, very good. So now we're going to the question where Linte actually tried to answer. Okay, about the answer. Here's a very good model answer.
Yes. So the purpose of our visit was to commemorate and celebrate International Elderly Day with the residents of the home. So just to add on, right, just a quick tip over here is there are answers that you can find in the stimulus itself, like the celebrating of International Elderly Day. So the answer J7 gave was perfectly fine. But what you can do is really to nail your language and organization, you can have some variation in your language. So instead of just copy pasting exactly what is there, or exactly your task fulfillment, like exactly the word structure, right, of the sentence, you can actually change your order of the sentence a little bit, or add on more like maybe adjectives or descriptions over there. to really nail your language and organization.
That's correct. Because if I were to answer the first two questions with just basic, straightforward responses, right, I would then sound like we went to Smiles Nursing Home, full stop. We celebrated International Day, full stop.
Yes, correct.
You will still not get that. So those two sentences were actually grammatically correct, but it still doesn't have the language sophistication.
Yes, correct.
That they're looking for. So if you want, do take a screenshot of what Teacher Vicky here has given for a model response. It's a good reference for you. Ha ha ha. Mudeng. I mean, are you revealing J7's name? Is it Sherlyn? Hello, Shanice. Welcome to you. Remember to follow us. Okay. Now, next question. 2 ways. Your class spends your time at the nursing home. Your class spent your time at the nursing home. So 2 ways. How did you spend your time? Linte, very good. She now she can say this. We played songs for the elderly and played games with them too. Okay, first things first. Sentence complete? Yes, correct. Tense correct? Yes, correct. Linte, good job. But are these two informations correct? Can we actually find them in the stimulus? Let's see from the clues, huh? Here, we made sure we chose healthier snacks, okay?
Here is on the music performance.
Correct.
And lastly, we have the card games. So you actually have 3 options from the stimulus. So what they need is 2.
I see. Now, okay, so now what we can tell Linte is how could she have, elevated the sentence? Because your sentence is already complete, tense-wise is also correct. Now, how could you have elevated this sentence to make it even more detailed, I would say, instead of like going for a generic we played games when you could have actually identified what the game you played, right? Can, but you are getting there, Linte. Good job. That means to say, if they're asking for 2 ways, Teacher Vicky, they could have done like this pair or that pair, right?
Right. So there's a total of 3 options. Then students can pick any 2 of it. There are some students, right, they have a tendency to write like all the things. So it's not really necessary because it's not going to give you more marks.
Yeah.
So, nothing wrong in listing the 3, to be honest, but it is also not going to give you more marks. So in in saving time, right, having that in mind, I think just listing what the task fulfillment asks for will be good. But again, your language sophistication, like what Teacher Mitsuko mentioned. So the answer is grammatically right, given by Linte, right, on the playing songs and playing games, but again expand on it. So over here, right, you can see they are having a musical performance. You can touch on the instrument actually. I can say like played the guitar or other instruments. And for this, like Teacher Mitsuko mentioned, again talk about the type of game and how they felt while playing it. You can add that they were enjoying themselves, having a good time while playing the card games.
So that was good, Linte. Let's provide more details, especially if they are there. So make good use of your stimulus very well. It's very good that Teacher Vicky highlighted, oh yeah, there is a photo of the guitar there. You could have actually mentioned it in the performance part. And then like the card game in the game spot. And then adding a bit of like, we were enjoying it while we were doing it, would have been moi. It would have fully elevated your original sentence already. So Linte, keep going. You can continue improving and you're getting there. What's the like now? J7 is very concerned. How come for mine it's 8.3K, right? Correct, right? It's 8.3K. It has been stuck here. J7. Matthew Rascal, hello. Thank you for liking the live. All right. Good job, people. So very smart tip from Teacher Vicky. You can always okay, put all the 3 even if they're asking for 2, but it will not give you more marks. So be smart about it. Think about your time. If you choose to give everything, make sure you have enough time both for SW and Compo. Hannah! Dun, dun, dun.
Okay, so let's reveal our model answer for it.
Look at this!
Okay, so the answer is lengthier because it requires 2 pieces of information that you need to gather and write. So our answer here, we spent our time in the nursing home doing multiple activities. So I start off by saying that we did more than two. So we did multiple, right? So we conducted a musical performance for the elderly where some classmates played instruments like the guitar and more. So the key word here being musical performance, which just now, as mentioned, you can say singing a song or some kind of performance is mentioned. The guitar and more will be an elaboration on that. Okay, then you need to mention your next activity. So we also got the residents to sing along with us. Okay, again, this is an elaboration on the musical performance. Yeah. So it's something that you can add on to elevate your, not just content, actually it elevates both your task fulfillment and your language.
Yeah, I would say so.
Then another activity we did was to play card games with the seniors, which we enjoyed thoroughly. So again, just don't just stop your sentence with what you did, but you can add in more. Correct.
Like that. Oh, 8.4K now. We're making progress, people. Thank you. You see, so get ideas from this. I actually do really like this exercise. Like question by question, it doesn't go to them in one go.
Yes, correct.
Correct. And then it's a very slow kind of progress, but
Developing
more,
the answers that we have.
correct. Yes. All right. Ready for the next one. Oh my God, this is the moment of truth, people. Is it going to be the
Yes,
tan, tan,
it is.
tan. Okay, now no need to look at the stimulus.
Yes, correct.
Now, this is now the additional question where they need you to provide your own response. Why you took pictures of the visit? Now, provide your own reason. Why were you taking pictures when you visited? Lynn Tay says, I wanted to share the pictures with the class. The next day, as the class was eager to see what was. Okay, I think you have a bit more to say, is it? Because the commenting is limited in character, correct? We have one more from J7. I took pictures of the visit for memories visiting there. I see. So they're going for two different like angles, right? J7 is for like, keepsake. And then Lin Tay is to like for sharing. Interesting. Very good. You're actually trying now to figure out. This is a good practice. So you're starting to expose yourself to different kinds of responses. I like at the elderly. Okay. So now here's the completion. Look at the full stop.
Okay, so to see what it was like at the elderly. Okay.
I see. Okay.
Okay, so just to touch on these answers shared, right? So Lin Tay, you actually have a very good answer. You wanted to share the picture. So sharing is definitely a very logical answer to give for photographs. But just one small thing to take note will be your task. So your task is actually you're writing an article for the school's newsletter. So what you can say is the sharing part, you can leave it there. But what you can say is to share it with everyone who's reading the newsletter or to just the members of the school in general instead of just saying to your classmates.
Correct. Because technically it's you are to when right versus because your class
to share your class experience.
Your
in
class
the newsletter.
technically went with you.
Yeah,
correct, Linte. Correct. So keep in mind we're going back to the logical part of this. Still keep in mind the task. Who are you talking to when you give your reasons now, okay? So how about J7's one?
J7, you have the memories, right? So I took pictures of the visit for memories. Okay, the reasoning is correct. I think the reasoning is logical, definitely acceptable as memories, but maybe just the sentence structure, we can change it a bit. Yeah, so you can say I took pictures of the visit as keepsake or to what the memories. To capture the memories of visiting the place. So there must be something else before the memories,
correct,
so that it's more grammatically correct. But definitely the reasoning is there.
And then what you can do is also still go back to the thing here. At least it will still prompt you, right? Like, maybe if you're asking me for the photo, it's probably because if I'm sharing for the school newsletter, it would be best if students will see in action. She has in action through the photos as well.
Yep, correct.
Right. So then ultimately, at the end of the day, right, the more, I think this is very good for them. The more they see, the more they realize that they will be able to answer the question now. They will be able to do so.
Yep. I think so far everyone's doing a good job. You're able to understand like the requirement, what's the new requirement, and you're able to actually like form answers related to that. So it's just about sharpening those answers.
Correct. And we're getting there. That's why we're practicing today. And finally, we're not done. Ta-da-da.
Okay, let's review our.
Okay,
Actually,
correct,
there are
correct.
clue words, right? But I don't think you even needed the clue words. You were able to come up with
Oh,
the.
capture memories, preserve special
Yes.
moments. We managed to get the words. Good job, peoples.
Okay, so here we have the model answer. Again, it's a lengthier
Wow.
answer.
But the keywords are all there, and then it's a good practice for you to see.
Mm.
Come, have a look.
Okay, so we have I was the photographer of the day, so you highlight what was your role and was able to capture numerous special moments. So capture is one of them throughout the day. Taking the pictures allowed me to capture the happy memories and also preserve the special moments. In addition, through the pictures captured, I am also able to share a glimpse of our experience visiting the nursing home with everyone reading the newsletter.
Yeah.
So you can come up with your own reason, and also you can link it back to the task box. What is the main person there assigned to do? What are you assigned to do? Which is to share your experience with everyone reading the newsletter.
Correct.
So yes.
And
Also again, just to reiterate this part, right? So by putting yourself in the situation, right? Because this is the question that is new, right? This is the task fulfillment that is going to be new, right? So just put yourself into that situation. So think of why you would take photographs. I think that is what J7 and Linte were doing. When you think of why you take photographs, then the answers become easier already. From there, it's just about linking it to your task box and then grammatically forming the correct sentence.
Yes. Hi, Alyssa. Welcome, Alyssa. Alyssa, hello. This is Teacher Vicky. Hello. Okay, hello. What do you mean hello? You're back. Is it? You've been gone. Is it, Shirley?
She wants a hello.
I love this. I love this model response. You all should take a screenshot of this. I got new phone. Wow. Gifted to you for having good marks for PSLE. Is it, Alyssa? We are very happy for you. I'm new, Char. Don't play with me, Shirley. You're new as a new device, is it? But same person, huh? All right. We still have one more question, Alyssa. Try to help them with this, Alyssa. She just finished PSLE.
Okay.
But the additional question for the PSLE, Alyssa, very similar to situational writing in secondary school. Time for you to practice. Okay. What you learned about the elderly from this experience. Ton, ton, ton. Clue? Do we have a clue somewhere?
Yes.
Oh, here. Now, Rice. Hello, Rice. How to get A1? Rice, A1 for secondary, is it? You're very excited. Are you already? What level are you in, Rice? At the moment, we're talking about the changes in PSLE, huh? But maybe we can insert a few tips for you in a moment. But first, let's answer this question, people. What you learned about the elderly from this experience, crafted into a sentence with this clue. Let's give it a try. Sec 1, what can I do now? I see, Rice. Okay, let's go through this question first, and then we will answer your question in a moment, for sure. For sure, Rice. But first, answer this question for me, Ken. Let's give it a try. I got iPhone SE. Wow. Good for you. At your age, I may not have been holding a phone yet. They were very kind and grateful. I see. That's what you learned from the elderly, okay? Is it? It was great. The elderly are truly adventurous and eager to learn new game. Have a look at this one here, J7. I'm on a bus right now, so I'll just listen in. Okay, Alyssa, no problem. So, how can you craft this into your own sentence? Talking about what you learned. Give it a try. The elderly are so rude to me. Surely. The elderly are very lonely at the care center, and they were very thankful that we came there.
Okay, so this one, right, the last bullet point. So remember, only one additional task fulfillment is about students coming up with like logical deduction and reasoning. The rest, again, don't get confused. Rely on your stimulus. Yeah. So the last one, right, you can actually find your answer in the stimulus, and we have highlighted the clue over here. So you can rely on that to form your sentences for the last task fulfillment.
So Linte, I'm gonna go back to you have to go back to getting the response from the stimulus now. Can give it one more try? Can we try? The clue is already highlighted by Teacher Vicky here. craft this into a sentence because you already answered the question here, the fourth one.
Charlene is she's curious about me.
Chur, who is
Hi.
the chur beside you? Chur, who is the chur beside you? Or chur, who is the chur beside you? Chur. Okay, teacher Mitsuko, teacher Vicky. Mitsuko Vicky.
Hi.
Glasses chur, what your name?
And teacher Vicky. Hi.
Viki. Mhm. Okay. Ken, now craft your sentences from this prompt here. How to spell? How to spell teacher Vicky?
Viki.
Mm-hmm. V
I
K
I.
Oh, thank you, teacher Rin. I cannot
Thank
see.
you.
Oh, sorry. I remember Alyssa was just listening in.
Oh, okay,
Alyssa,
okay.
oh, she's listening. It's like a podcast.
Ooh.
Alyssa. We're gonna sing songs for you, Alyssa, while you're in the bus, you know. Also, welcome back. Oh, can zoom in? Okay, sorry. Let's zoom in this part. So, the question is what you learned about the elderly from this experience. This is then use this as your keywords for what you learned about the elderly. Give it a try. Craft it into a sentence. Let's go. Oh, thank you for the heart, Alyssa. Okay. So, basically, what have you learned from the elderly? Start crafting it. Let's go. The elderly always call me. Hey, Alyssa.
She's giving an oral response, not
Yeah, she's giving oral
situational writing response.
Situational writing, madam, ha. That one you can freestyle the oral one. Yeah, Lisa. Are you a naughty young girl? That's why the elderly keep scolding you. Maybe. The elderly are adventurous, as they love to play and learn new games every week. Wow! Good job, Lynn. Hey, well done. So I think from there, right, the thing that she just needs to be careful with is again making sure that you know which questions are can be answered from information in the stimulus, and which one single one, which at the moment actually they're underlining for you. Okay, that one single question that you need to provide the answer completely on your own, coming from you. Okay. I always just copy paste. I know, Alyssa. So Alyssa, from your time, right, you are the last batch doing the lifting. So the next batch, Alyssa, if we apply the changes, there's already one additional question where they cannot copy paste from the stimulus at all because it's not there. Alyssa. Yes. Good job, Lynn. We are proud of you. Yeah, okay. Model answer.
Yes, so
Wow.
from this fruitful and eye-opening experience, I learned that the elderly are truly adventurous. They are fun-loving people who are eager to learn new things.
One thing I think you all should notice from teacher Vicky's model response, you do not need to provide the answer in one sentence, huh? If you notice, teacher Vicky actually tried to vary her sentence structure, and she gave more than one sentence if she wants to like kind of like elevate the sentence more, especially when you were sharing about the two ways, right?
Yes, correct.
So she completely did a separate one for the first way and then another one for the second way. So don't limit yourself to only one sentence. Yeah, can do a bit more. They are also fun-loving people. Good job. Ozil said, the elderly are truly adventurous and always eager to learn the new games each week. Okay, so now at least they're able to capture the information from the stimulus. Okay.
Okay, so that's our last question to try. But like what teacher Mitsuko said, I just wanted to highlight two important things. So one is for your task fulfillment. Take note of what is the new addition that is added, and also like mentioned, right, try to not limit to one sentence per task fulfillment, because it actually will affect your task fulfillment itself, because when you're cramming so much into one sentence, you might miss out important information.
Correct.
And it can also affect it will definitely affect your language and organization, because you might have run-on sentences. because you're cramming everything into that one sentence. And also task fulfill. For situational writing, right? In order to really ace your situational writing, I'm pretty sure you would have seen samples from your schools, like the top whoever scored full marks for situational. Your teachers might have shared the samples with you. You realize that it's not actually very short. So you can't really write like 5 task fulfillment, 5 sentences.
Correct.
Yeah, that is not the case. You should be able to expand on your answers. So it doesn't mean it's as long as your continuous writing, of course, but again, expand on your answers where necessary and just split up the sentences. Nothing wrong to break down your sentences.
Correct. One big word that teacher Vicky has dropped. Let me see if you were all listening. She mentioned one very common S&T error that students commit when they write situational writing or combo. This, what do you call this? She dropped it just now. What do you call it when students, right? You know, your sentence just keeps going and going and going on, never stopping. So like, I arrived in school, I sat down, comma, and then I saw my friend, and then the teacher arrived. But also, my best friend sat beside me. And then, okay, what is that error? When your sentence never stops, it just keeps going on and on and on and on. Did you catch that word from teacher Vicky? Because I'm afraid almost every single student will have a phase in their primary school years will they struggle with that specific error. Starts with letter R. Let me see. Put it. Can you put it? You keep R and then blank, 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 like that. Just make it long. Actually, let's give him the first part. It's called a run what sentence.
Yep.
Run what?
Oh, cannot see.
Oh, is it?
Can you see my comments?
No. Are you bad?
Rice?
Rice?
No.
Oh, Alyssa, you should know this, Alyssa. Run away. We're doing phrasal verbs. Run down, run away, run over. Run what? A. Even if you are Ozil, secondary, Alyssa going secondary, this is still an error you may possibly do all the way to secondary essay writing and situational writing.
No.
Run what sentence?
Cannot see.
Run down. Cannot see, is it? Okay, can. Run down. Okay, let's give it to them. It's run
on. Run on sentences. Run up, run down, run through. No, okay. So it's run on sentences. As the name suggests, the sentence just runs on and on and on. So it's not a grammatically correct sentence because it's just continuous. It just goes on. You lose sight of your main verb, your main subject, because it just tends to run on. So run on is one common mistake when you don't break up your sentences. Another common mistake, right, that can happen for situational writing in terms of sentence structure is actually sentence fragment also. Because the student sees the answer, they just paste the answer.
Correct.
So yeah, for this question, for example, what did they learn, right? They can just copy the answer there, like elderly are adventurous, something like that.
Correct. Then sentence incomplete.
Correct.
No subject sometimes. No proper linking verb sometimes. Elderly happy, like that. Correct, So be careful with run-on sentences and fragments. Or sentence fragments. Okay? Alright.
So Alyssa is asking what is run-on. Okay, we just mentioned it, but let me give you another example. So let's say this sentence over here. Okay, so from this fruitful and eye-opening experience, I learned that the elderly are truly adventurous. I have one grammatically correct sentence here. Here, I have another grammatically correct sentence, right? There's a full stop here to show that this sentence is ended. So a run-on sentence is when these two sentences, right, are connected, together, and I repeat the same conjunction. It means I already have one end here. I'm going to put another end here. Correct. So the sentence is this long.
Yes.
So that is a run-on because it just goes on and on and on. It's running on.
Yes. Alyssa, don't do that. 10K likes! Yay!
Yay!
Thank you very much, people. Thank you. So it just keeps running on and on. How do you know if you're doing a run-on sentence, right? A few things. There's too many conjunctions in your sentence. 3 ends, 2 buts, like that. And then maybe too many commas.
Yes.
Just comma, like that. Mm-hmm.
So actually a rule of thumb, right? Maybe something I can share is a rule of thumb. Try to, if you want to have a longer sentence or a complex compound sentence, do not repeat the same conjunction twice. So rule of thumb. So if you really use one N, don't use another N. Use another conjunction. Use S. So use your fanboys or other conjunctions or other connectors. So of course there are exceptions to this. I'm not saying this is the hard and fast rule, but if you want to avoid this or you're not sure about your sentence, then just try to have one of each conjunction, then use another one instead. Yeah.
Correct. So I think at this point, that sounds like what I do during CW. I always sort of picked it in my brain and changed the sentence structure. Correct. I'm happy you're actually aware. So they have to check their own level, right? Of hello, Teacher Faiz is saying hi to everyone. They have to check their own level of writing, right? Because if this is something you truly find hard to fix, then sometimes your teacher may go and say use only one conjunction. But you cannot stick to that rule going forward, right? Secondary, they also want to see how you create complex compound sentences.
Yes,
Yeah. So listen, the tip from teacher Vicky, do so. But of course now you can keep it safe. A good piece of writing is a combination of short and long sentences. So keep it short, keep it long, but properly, no run on ha. Okay. Perfect. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. So now, okay, we done?
Okay, yes, so we are done with situational writing, and thank you all for participating. A lot of good answers, and I believe it was very insightful, right? This practice. Okay, but of course, let me just remind everyone at this stage that what we did is just the task fulfillment bullets only.
Yeah.
So you still need to make sure you have your proper introductory sentences, your formatting, your concluding lines, your sign off. Everything must be there in order to really tick all the boxes for both task fulfillment and content, and in order to get the full marks. So what we did, again, I reiterate, was just the task fulfillment. Your formatting must be there, sign off, all of it must still be there also.
Correct. So, like additional question, but everything else you should not forget. Should also check, are you even aware of everything that's already asked of you from the normal format itself?
Right.
Yeah. Because technically there's one addition, but the rest has to be carried over in the whole examination. Yeah. And so now,
Yes, so just before we move on to the next component, let's just give a quick rundown. So what we have just looked at so far. So students will still aim for 6 marks for your task fulfillment. It's a total of 6 marks. There will be about 5 to 6 bullets to cover. So something to keep in mind is that there is an additional bullet where students have to come up with their own logical deduction. They have to make their own reasoning and come up with logical deduction like what you did earlier. But your task fulfillment still remains at 6. So in a way, it's slightly more harder to get the 6 marks now, but completely doable, like what we just did, as long as you approach it in the correct way. And as for your language and organization, that is the only one that is taking a dip in marks. There's a change in marks. It's going from 9 to 8. But so far, from what we know, there is no change in terms of the rubric. It is still like graded like how it has been graded before, but there's just a dip in marks. So from 9, it's going to go to 8 marks, and overall, it will be over 14 marks, from 15 to 14.
All right, we shall quiz you with that later before we go. Make sure you remember. Okay. Now, time to ding, 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 ding. Continuous writing, your favorite part in paper 1.
Yes, the longest part.
Yes, the much longer part. Oh, is this affected also?
Yes, it is affected. It's actually affected in a unique way. So how it is affected, right? So in terms of marks, actually that's the only way it's affected. It's affected in terms of marks. So for situational writing, it's only taking a dip of 1 mark. But continuous writing, right, is actually taking a dip of, yes, as mentioned earlier, 4 marks. So from 40, it's going down to 36 marks, which means each component, right, so it's tested on 2 different things. So each component is also going down by 2 marks each.
Wow. But that would mean to say, right, what does it mean? The dip in 4 marks. it has to have implications in how teacher actually will now give out the marks now that they have fewer marks to give.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so there will definitely be changes which we will be looking challenges and changes both we will be looking at. So if we look at the changes itself, right? So like mentioned, continuous writing is marked with two criteria. So you have your language and then you have your content and organization. Both of which were previously marked over 20 marks each and then totaling 40. Now it will be 18 each and then totaling 36 marks.
Still
But
half half.
correct. But there will be no changes in format or duration. So actually, like teacher Mitsuko asked, right, so what is the impact? How are things changing up, right? So you can see over here some examples of school rubric. So this year itself, again, some schools have already implemented at the P5 level the changes. So the end of year papers, right, what the students wrote were marked over 36 marks. So you can see an example here. This is Nanyang Primary. Yeah, so overall it's marked over 36, 18 for content and 18 for language and organization.
Alyssa said, I prefer CW to SW because I get to read my story, which is interesting, makes me less bored when checking. I like hearing that because a lot of students go and say, I don't want to do CW. So it's good that you enjoy that.
Yeah, that's
enjoy it
true.
even more, Alyssa, for secondary school. You have more genres to study. Good job. I like learning. Yes, Violin B. I like that attitude. Yes, continue loving to learn. Thanks, Cher, for explaining. You're welcome.
Yes, you're welcome.
Okay, very interesting. So what can we highlight from this? They're basically so now like same rubrics, right? But lower points.
Yes, correct. So now we have the rubrics stay similar. So you can see there is still a content, then there is still language and organization. But something to take note is over here, right? There's actually 4 categories. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 categories for content for this particular school, and then for language and organization, again, there's 4 categories. So you have let's just say top tier or first tier. Then you have the second tier followed by the third and fourth. So each of them you can see like you have to tick certain boxes for it. But if you were to look at another school over here, right, also similar, they have 4 tiers to it, but it is phrased in a slightly different way. So although the phrasing of the different schools, right, the rubric is slightly different, they are still looking out for same things.
Yeah.
Yes. So for content, there are some specific things that you need to make sure that you tick, your check boxes, and then for language, there are some of it, which we will look at later on.
Correct. We will tell you, having seen all these rubrics from different schools, they share the same sets of skills that they're looking for. We'll reveal it to you later on. Yeah.
The comments are funny.
You teach better than my one-to-one tuition. I had result almost. Is there a way for me to improve SNT? Hello, Sav. Yes, yes. We always say there is no stopping. There is always a way for you to learn SNT. Just very quickly to answer your question, number one, we're going through a lot of papers here in Writers at Work Live. So number one, you can always do the live with us because at least the live hosts engages you to provide your answers and then they will give you the answer as well. So it's kind of like, you go through some papers and you understand why your answer is correct and why your answer is wrong. Yeah. Do practices on your own, Sav, as well. But be more deliberate about it, such as don't stop with just doing papers. Practice and practice and practice. You have to know when you get them wrongly and why. And you have to know why you get them correctly so you can repeat the success. Okay? Can. All right. Chur. Oh my God, it's 7:17. So that means to say, people, hold on. Because we have so many things to discuss with them.
Yep.
If we are unable to actually finish the whole thing, we still have a few more slides to go. We have a second, do keep in mind, we have a second round for this session. This is why I'm telling you, we need a separate session per paper because we go in depth in this level where we go through the questions with you, we discuss the changes, and we discuss tips along the way. So do keep in mind on the 16th of December, or have a look at our TikTok channel. You will see the schedule that we have, okay? And share this with your friends if you want them to be aware of the changes as well. Now question, dang. Okay, poll time. It should be here at this side. Okay, at this side. The CW requirement is to write a minimum of 150 words with a reduction of total 4 marks. Does it mean you can write lesser?
No,
yes or no?
no.
So click the poll here It's at the upper left corner. There's a blue thing. Actually, let me stand a bit more. Okay, cannot stand. Because if I stand, it will go there.
Oh.
Yes. Check the poll. Poll is up. Click to vote. Yes or no. There's 4 marks. 4 marks deduction is actually wow. 4 marks. Can I write lesser? Yes or no, people? Let's see. 8 more seconds. Answer the poll. It's at the upper left corner. Upper left corner. I see. Very smart. Very smart. Very smart. Okay, good job. Teacher Vicky, is it a yes or a no?
Okay, I think we have a unanimous answer here. So definitely, it's a definite and resounding no. Okay, no, never. So just because the marks are lowered, it doesn't mean you can write lesser words. So the challenges still remain. So there is no such thing as writing lesser words, or because the duration is also still the same. Yeah. So it's just the marks have been lowered.
Correct. That means to say, right, if it's exactly the same length, perhaps more, and then same timing but lower marks, all the more will you have to fight for those marks.
Yes, correct.
Right? Yeah, correct. See, people, very good.
Okay, but it's good that everyone is on the same page. So no one is saying yes, right? So that is good. Everyone knows that you're not supposed to write lesser. Okay, so let's look at some of the challenges. So despite the reduction in marks, right, the challenges remain the same. So it does not mean that just because it's 4 marks lower now, you can write lesser. It also does not mean that it's easier to score. Okay, so this is a common misconception. Okay, lower marks, lesser marks means like less important. No, it's just because, like mentioned just now, overall, in order to give more marks for oral, this change is done, and also again, like mentioned, to fit nicely within that 200 range, the changes are done. But still, it's actually equally hard or even more hard to get your AL1 and AL2 for the different components, because actually later on you'll look at it, right, the difference in marks, right, compared to the previous system, the range in marks for AL1 and AL2 is actually 1 mark less.
Correct.
So previously, right, you have one more wiggle room.
Correct. Yes, that's
compared
true.
to now.
Which teacher Vicky will actually show you in a slide. I don't know if we'll reach it at this session, but she will show you what are the mark ranges that you will need to hit for each component for you to get AO1 or 2, whatever your goal is. Yeah. So be aware of that.
Yes, and also on top of all that, right, you also have to tick a lot of check boxes in order to get the full marks.
Yeah.
So even though the marks have reduced, the rubrics are the same.
Correct.
So you still need to check all the boxes, both for content and language and organization.
That's why it's very shocking for me, because quite a lot of students, some students have really gotten below 30 now, which they were not very used to. But yeah, some of them by end of year they got below 30. It's because they're still holding you to the same level of standard with much fewer marks to work with.
Right.
Yeah.
And also to explain, right, like I think a number of you are writers at work students. So actually the students here, you know the amount that you write every week. So we actually write about 800 words about there. Yeah, in order to really bring out the necessary characterization, elaboration, twists and turns of the plot. So writing lesser is not really an option over here if you really want to ace for both your components, your criteria.
150 is a bare minimum.
Yes.
150, but I can tell you, you're aiming for AL1. 150 barely just your
one
intro.
paragraph. It's just one paragraph.
Correct. Yeah, so let's face the reality as early on. Early on. Can. Oh, few more.
Okay, and the last point over here, right? Marking is also subjective. So it's actually one of the challenges also. So as much as there's a reduction in marks, doesn't necessarily mean it's easier to score. And the different teachers can mark in different ways. So you still need to make sure that you are answering to the question, bringing in the picture, and ticking all the boxes that are there, so that there's no way that you can lose the marks. Okay.
So we told you about, oh my God, sure, so many challenges. But of course, now we come with solutions. But questions for all of you. What must your writing include to score full marks? This shall be the last question for the night. Okay, people, we're ending by 7:30, but we're going to give time for our people here, all of us, to make sure they can still leave on time. Okay, but now, Question to all of you. Our last question for the night.
Mm.
What must you include in your composition writing so you get full marks with the changes now, right?
Correct.
36, you have to hit that 18 language, 18 content. What must you have in your composition to get full marks? Must I have what? So many idioms. Okay. Question. Good phrases. I see. Anyone else?
Think about both language and also
Correct.
content.
Yeah. That's a good clue. Good language, good content. What does it take to get full marks for both ends? So, for example, Lynn's answer falls under content. Very good. Good
Show, not
phrases.
tell.
Content as well. Show, not tell. I see. Sherlyn, are you still there? Alyssa, who's in the bus. What else? One more. Can someone give us something related to language? What must your language be so you get the 18 marks for language as well? Let's go. Okay, come on. 10 more seconds, and then we shall reveal you the answers. Actually, let's reveal the answers on the next session. We will reveal the answers to you in the next session by the 16th of December. But do know, next week we will have a deep dive into paper 2 and paper 4. Okay, be careful. Foreshadowing. Wow, what a big word.
Good. Okay, so that is good. That will be under literary devices. Yeah. So we actually it's actually under both, but more on language because you're showing your language sophistication by including all these lit devices. Kilinte has shared good grammar. Definitely. So it's definitely one of the major things that you need to have.
Yes.
Even if we look back at all the rubrics just now, right? Grammar is just everywhere. Grammar.
Correct. That one, there's no way they're getting that out of the. That's the reason why they're testing you, right? Because they want you to eventually get good grammar. So correct, Linte. Biggest one in language is correct usage of grammar.
And actually, not just good grammar for your top tiers, right? Tier 1 and 2. Okay, tier 1 or full marks is actually flawless grammar. They're looking for like 0 errors in full marks composition.
Right? Yeah. If you think about it, yes. Flawless, like perfect, like, and it is actually possible.
Yes.
And I can tell you, Teacher Vicky, she got a student, and I saw the paper. Yeah. No grammatical error at all. My goodness. And it's like it's a good thing, right? It gives them the hope that it is possible to get full marks, even for a situational writing, composition writing that includes more writing. It is possible. And of course, we shall reveal to you, okay, the things that you should be including for school full marks for composition writing on the next session. And guess what? Who are you going to be partnering with for the next session, Teacher Vicky?
I will be with Teacher Janice.
Yay! Yes. So, hold your horses. We haven't talked about, what are the things we haven't talked about yet? The good things you should be, the skills and the list of things you should be including to get full marks.
Yes.
And then what else?
We have the tips and strategies, very important. What you can do to help yourself, what we can do to help you. So yes, we have the very important tips and strategies towards the end. That's mainly the 2 things.
Correct. So look out for those things. We can choose to start with those things when we start the next session. But of course, the most important takeaway today is it's very important. I have a lot of realization as well, practicing the new questions with them. Yeah. On how this our students may also take in the new format as well. So before we end, let's do one last recap of everything. For example, situational writing, Teacher Vicky.
So for situational writing, there will be a change in marks. So from 15 marks, it's going to go to 14 marks. So number 1, there is a change in marks. Number 2, the change in marks will be for the criteria of language and organization. So task fulfillment will remain at 6 marks, and language and organization will go from 9 to 8 marks. So 1 mark reduction in your language. But the third change in terms of format, so your task fulfillment will have 1 more bullet point added, where students have to come up with your own reasoning and logical deduction. So it's something that you can't find the answers for in the stimulus, but you need to come up with the answers yourself. So these are the three main things that you should be taking note for situational writing.
Realization today, it's good to start practicing with a new format. Yeah. And we'll go through one more time those examples in the next session, and the ones that we haven't covered yet, tips and strategies that you can use to tackle the changes. All right. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. Thank you, Teacher Vicky, for your time.
Thank
And
you,
to the rest of
everyone.
you, have a good night and have a good dinner if you haven't eaten yet. Bye. Oh, people, the word's still there.
Bye.
Goodbye.
It has ended.